Hello guys. Hello guys. Good morning. Welcome to the session today. Hope you all can hear me. Can you guys confirm once? Okay, that's great. Thanks for confirming. Sorry guys for the delay. So let us start this session guys. So if you guys remember, let me gonna just tell you what we have discussed yesterday and what we are going to discuss today. I'm going to just tell you. Yesterday we have seen the cloud overview. Right, so we have seen the cloud overview. Inside that we have seen why we need cloud platform, and after that I have also told you about the traditional working model versus the cloud computing model. And we have seen in the cloud different varieties, different cloud categories. I have told you about the virtual machine based services, managed services, as well as the full serverless service. We have seen this topic yesterday, guys, if you guys remember. This was our yesterday's topic. Today I am going to talk about GCP interfaces. Okay, today I am going to talk about the GCP interfaces. The very first thing that we are going to see, what is console, what is cloud shell, what is cloud SDK. In very detail, we are going to see this topic today. This is our today's topic. Okay, so this is our today's topic, guys. So what is GCP interfaces? Okay, to give you the context, in Google Cloud Platform, as I already told you, we have a plenty of services out there. We have seen that we have like compute services are there, IAM services are there, data services are there, machine learning services are there, as well as networking services, storage and database services are also there. So if one wanted to interact with any of these services, right? If one wanted to interact with any of these services in the GCP, okay, if one wanted to interact with any of the services in the GCP, we have three GCP interfaces are there, three methods, total four methods are there. As a developer, we are going to use the three methods. Okay, so total three methods are there. If you wanted to interact with the GCP services, the very first method I am going to tell you, that is console. The second method is cloud shell. The third method is cloud SDK. The fourth method is APIs and third-party tools. You can think of like a third-party tools. So these are the four methods are there to interact with the GCP services. So what do you mean by interaction, sir? The question is, sir, you are saying the interacting with the GCP services. What do you mean by interaction? So I mean to say interaction is that what do we want to do in the Google Cloud Platform? Can anyone tell me? Can you guys tell me what do we want it to do in the Google Cloud Platform? We as a data engineer, what is our agenda in the Google Cloud Platform? Can you guys tell me what we as a data engineer wanted to do in the GCP? So yeah, in a simple words, we as a data engineer, we may wanted to store the data. Okay, very first thing is ingest the data. Ingest the data, store the data, process the data, right? Analyze the data, transform the data, analyze the data governance we want to take care of it, data monitoring, data visualization. So we as a data engineer wanted to work on these different activities. Yes or no? So as a data engineer, sir, I have a data that is coming from the multiple data sources. So that data I wanted to store it in the Google Cloud Platform. So if I wanted to ingest the data from those data sources and store it into the Google Cloud Platform, we are going to interact with the GCP services. Yes or no? We are going to interact with services. So those GCP services can be anything. So in Google Cloud Platform, you have a plenty of GCP services are there. So such as you have a cloud storage for storing the data, cloud SQL for the database purpose, transactional database purpose. You have a BigQuery for data analytics purpose, data transformation purpose, data proc for the data processing purpose, data flow for data processing purpose, as well as airflow for orchestration purpose. So similarly, you have a plenty of the services on the Google Cloud platform that you wanted to do these activities. So if you wanted to do as a data engineer, you wanted to perform these activities, right? To do these activities, you need the services or you need the tools. Those tools are available in the Google Cloud platform. Those tools are available in the Google Cloud platform. And to do these actions, if you want to do these actions on top of these services, you need the interface methods. You need to know how to enter the cloud storage. You need to know how to interact with the cloud SQL. You need to know how to interact with the BigQuery. So if you wanted to interact with any of the services in the GCP, these are all GCP services. If you wanted to interact with any of the service in the GCP, we have three methods there. We have total three methods are there, guys. One is cloud. Can you guys tell me what are those three methods? Can you guys tell me what are those three methods? One is console, cloud shell, SDK. So these are the three methods are there, guys, if you wanted to interact with the GCP services. So this is what is my point. Hope you got some idea now. Okay. So now let us try to understand what is console, how to interact with the services. What is Cloud Shell? How to interact with the services? What is Cloud SDK? How to interact with the services? So let us try to understand. Now we know what is console, what is Cloud Shell, what is SDK. So what is the context of these things? Now we got to know. So let us try to understand in very detail what is console, how to interact with the services via console. What is Cloud Shell? How to interact with the services via Cloud Shell? Let us try to understand. First, let us start with console. Okay, so cloud console. Okay, what is cloud console? We're gonna talk about very first thing. So cloud console is a one of the web-based graphical user interface. So what is the cloud console? So cloud console is a one of the web-based graphical user interface to interact with the services, to interact with the GCP services via user interface, UI. Via user interface, you are going to interact with the services. Okay, so this is what is a console, sir. A console is a web-based graphical user interface to interact with the GCP services via user interface. Via user interface. So let me gonna show you guys. Let me go to the Google Cloud platform. So this is, I'm opening the Google Chrome. I go to the console.cloud.google.com. So this is our web page, home page for the Google Cloud platform. So I'm going to select the very first project. I will tell you all of these things. Don't worry about it. So if you wanted to, sir, I wanted to work with BigQuery. So what are I'm trying to do? So I wanted to work with the BigQuery. So BigQuery is here. I'm going to select the BigQuery. Okay, so I'm going to select, if I wanted to see all the data sets, I'm going to click on this one. If I wanted to see the tables inside a data set, I'm going to click on this one. So what I'm trying to do, I am going to visually, so you are going to interact with the services visually, okay, via user interface. So this is what we call as a console. This thing is called as console, sir. Okay, so not only that, if you wanted to work with cloud storage, the same way. So the cloud console where all the services are graphically available so that you are going to interact with these services visually. So that is what we call as a cloud console. What we can do in the cloud console? Almost everything we can do in the cloud console, sir. If you wanted to create a bucket in the cloud console, or create a table inside the BigQuery, or if you wanted to assign a IAM policy, or if you wanted to create a virtual machine, or if you wanted to create a VPC network, or a Kubernetes cluster, or whatever it is, if you wanted to take care of the billing, so whatever the things that you wanted to do, almost everything can be done using the cloud console, sir. Almost everything can be done using the cloud console. Okay, so this is what is cloud console. Okay, what we can do, for example, if you wanted to do some actions such as, sir, if I wanted to create a bucket, for example, if you wanted to create a bucket, you can do it. Okay, create a bucket for storing the data. Create a data set and table for create a data set and table inside the BigQuery in BQ. In BigQuery, if you wanted to create a data set and table. Similarly, if you wanted to create IAM or create IAM user, or if you wanted to create some virtual machine, or if you wanted to do some data processing also, in some tools you can also do the data processing. Okay, so all of these activities, I would say, create some cluster for data processing. So all of these activities that you can able to do in the Google Cloud platform, sorry, Cloud Console, sir. So Cloud Console is a web-based. Why I'm calling it as a web-based? You look at here, it is available over the web. Okay, it is available over the web only. So that's the reason I'm calling it as a web-based. Web-based graphical user interface to interact with each and every service in the GCP. Visually, we call it as a cloud console. Hope that is clear. So this is what is cloud console. Hope that is clear, guys. Okay, so the next thing is that we have seen, that is, what is the next one, sir? What is the next interaction method? Cloud shell. Please speak up, guys, whenever I'm asking. Otherwise, I assume that you are sleeping because it is morning. So I assume that you are sleeping. So try to be, you know, vocal also sometimes whenever I'm asking. Okay. Yeah. So what is a cloud shell? Sir, cloud shell is also a web-based. Okay, web-based. Can anyone tell me what could it be? What can it be? Command line interface. Perfect. So Cloud Shell is a web-based command line interface. Okay, it's a web-based command line interface. So here, if you wanted to interact with the services, how do we interact with the services, guys? If it is a command line interface, via commands only we are going to interact with the services, right? So Cloud Shell is a web-based command line interface to interact with the GCP services via commands. Okay, so one more thing also I wanted to talk about out of the topic. So Cloud Shell is comes up with a Linux-based operating system, guys, because it is a Linux-based operating system. So what commands we have to use here? So we have to know the Linux commands only. So then only you will be able to interact with the GCP services. So this is what it is. You have to understand. Okay. So one more thing also I wanted to talk about it. That is, cloud comes up with a Linux-based operating system, and it also comes up with a pre-installed client libraries. Comes up with a pre-installed client libraries. Sir, what are those things? Such as Python, Java, Terraform, okay, Java, Terraform, Node.js, many other things. So, Cloud Shell is a web-based command line interface to interact with the GCP services via commands. to interact with the services, we need to know the Linux commands. It is because it is a Linux-based operating system. Okay, one more thing also before that I wanted to tell you, because don't get confused here. I am giving you a lot of information on the Cloud Shell. So that is the reason don't confuse, because I will make everything sense to you. Then only we will wind up the session. Okay. So everything has to make sense to you, because everything is a very simple thing. Okay. So because the Cloud Shell is available to each and every user. Okay. Cloud Shell is a one of the virtual machine, guys. It is a one of the virtual machine. Okay. Virtual machine. It's a Linux based virtual machine. VM. Okay, it's a Linux based virtual machine. Okay, this is also I forgot to tell you. Okay, Cloud Shell is by default. So Cloud Shell is, we are using it for the command line interface to interact with the GCP services. That is fine. But how the Cloud Shell is available to us? How the Cloud Shell is available to us? If you ask me, sir, Cloud Shell is a one of the Linux based virtual machine, comes up with a Linux operating system. Okay, so here if you wanted to work with this particular operating system, you need to know the Linux commands. So this particular virtual machine comes up with the reinstalled client. Right. Sorry guys. Yeah. Is my voice breaking, guys? Is it clear to everyone or is it breaking?
It's breaking,
It is
sir.
breaking, sir.
Okay, 1 minute, guys. Let me gonna restart one thing. Give me 1 minute. Can you guys confirm that is it breaking now?
No, sir.
It's clear. Okay, perfect. Now, let me gonna tell you. So, Cloud Shell is a command line interface to interact with the GCP services via commands. That is perfect. So, how the Cloud Shell is available? If you ask me, that's a Cloud Shell is a one of the virtual machine comes up with the Linux operating system. Okay, it is one of a virtual machine provided to the each and every user whoever is having a Google Cloud account. It is provided to you as a free, because it is comes up with a Linux operating system. So here you have to use the Linux commands to interact with the GCP services. Okay, so again one more thing, that what they have done is that they have also installed a few client libraries, so that it becomes even more handy for you whenever you wanted to run some Python script or JavaScript or something. So that is what is a Cloud Shell, sir. Okay, so Cloud Shell, in a simple words, Cloud Shell is a web-based command line interface to interact with the GCP services via commands. Let me gonna show you here. As I told you, it is also web-based. Somewhere here only it should be available. Somewhere here only it should be available. You can see here. So hope you are able to see the screen clearly. So this is where you see a button called Activate Cloud Shell. Okay, you see a button called Activate Cloud Shell. Click on that particular button. Okay, click on that button. If you click on that button, the Cloud Shell terminal gets activated at the bottom. Cloud Shell terminal gets activated at the bottom. Okay, so let us wait. You see here, guys, they are provisioning a machine. So 1 minute, let me gonna show you. When I activate it, what they are showing, see, they are trying to provision a Cloud Shell machine. So what is this Cloud Shell machine? As I told you that it is a one of the virtual machine, comes up with a Linux operating system. So this is a Linux operating system only, guys. So if you wanted to work with the GCP services, you need to interact it via Linux commands. You need to interact it via Linux commands. Let me gonna give you some idea. Sir, you went to the cloud storage. So via graphically you went to the cloud storage, and you are able to list out all the buckets inside the cloud storage using the graphical interface. Can we do the same thing using the cloud shell via command line interface? Yes, you can do that. Why not? So GSUTL, you need to know the commands. I will tell you later. We will be having a separate session to know the commands, but try to understand. If you wanted to list out all the commands, I will tell you later. But now look at here. If I wanted to list out all the buckets in the cloud storage, gsutil ls. If I use this command, the same number of buckets it is going to be listing out. You look at here. So total here, how many buckets? 8 buckets are there. Here also, if you can see, 4 plus 4. Total 8 buckets are there. Okay. Similarly, sir, via graphical interface, if I click on it, I went to the each bucket and I am able to see this many files inside the bucket. So in this particular bucket, sir, copy this bucket. In this particular bucket, sir, I am having this many files. Similarly, sir, can I be able to list out all the same thing here also? Yes. gsutil ls. So the bucket name is gs://. This is a bucket name we copied and pasted here. Click on enter. See here, the same thing, the sum all the files. For example, look at here. So stdipynb, you can also see here the same thing. So the same number of files here you have, here also you have. So this is how, if you wanted to interact with the GCP services via commands, you have a Cloud Shell. What is a Cloud Shell? If I ask you, Cloud Shell is available to you as a virtual machine. If you wanted to work with these virtual machine, you need to know the Linux commands. Okay. And one more advantage. Can you guys tell me what is the one more advantage for the Cloud Shell, sir? It comes up with the pre-installed softwares such as Python. You see here, Python is already installed. You don't need to specifically go and install it if you wanted to run some Python scripts. Java. Java OpenJDK version 17.0.11 is already available if you wanted to use it. Terraform. Terraform is also available if you wanted to use it. So what I'm trying to say is that it is a command line interface that they have installed a few of the programming libraries as well, so that you don't need to install it whenever you wanted to use it. Okay, so this is an advantage, guys. So this is an advantage. Okay, so you can also see, yeah. So one more thing is also there. If you wanted to see the state later point of time, I will show you. If I show it, it will be a bit of confusion. Okay, so this is what is Cloud Shell, sir. Command web-based command line interface comes up with a it comes up with text-based operating system. And if you want to interact with the GCP services via commands, you need to know the Linux commands. That means you need to know the Linux basics. So it comes with pre-installed client libraries. Those libraries are like such as Python, Java, Terraform, Node.js. Many things are also there. I am not saying all the things. kubectl is also there. BQ command line interface is also there. gsutil command line interface is also there. Plenty of the things are there. The one which you know. So that's the reason I have mentioned here few. Okay, so this is what is Cloud Shell, sir. One more interesting thing about the Cloud Shell is that Cloud Shell have two phases. Cloud Shell have two phases, guys. I wanted to tell you that also. The very first phase is that you might have seen actually, if you are actually keen about the screen, you might have seen it. One is terminal. One is terminal. This is the first phase of Cloud Shell. One more is editor. One is terminal and one more is editor. Okay, what is terminal? What is editor? Let us see. Terminal, and you have an editor also. Okay, so Cloud Shell has two types, or you can think of two phases. One is terminal, one more is editor. Where is the terminal? Whatever you are using, that is Cloud Shell terminal. Look at here. So Cloud Shell terminal. So whatever you are using is a terminal only. So what is a terminal? A terminal is like a shell interface, cloud shell interface. Okay, command line interface. Okay, a terminal is more of a what, sir? A terminal is more of a, why it is coming like this? A terminal is more of a command. Why? Okay, is it clear, guys? Anyone? Is it clear? Yeah. So Cloud Shell is a command line interface, guys, to interact with the GCP services. Okay, it is a command line interface. If you wanted to run some commands, so you have a terminal. You have a terminal. Sir, tomorrow I wanted to write some script. I wanted to write some scripts. I'm going to terminal in the next window. I'm going to click on it, open a new window, so that the Cloud Shell gets opened in the next window. Okay, so this is what is our terminal. So if you wanted to open the editor, you have at the top, open editor option is there, click on it. So the editor gets opened. Here it is. So what is the editor? For code editing purpose, so it is like a code editor. What is this one, sir? It is a code editor. So if you wanted to run some script, if you wanted to create some script, and I wanted to create a Python script, JavaScript, whatever the script that you have, if you want to write the code properly with the help of a code editor, so that is what is your Cloud Shell editor, sir. And one more thing is that it comes up with a version control capabilities. Version control also it comes up with. So this is what is a editor, sir. Cloud Shell editor, look at here. So this is what is your Cloud Shell editor. Okay, so this is what is your Cloud Shell editor, sir. Tomorrow, if you wanted to create some Python script, okay, I'm going to click on, let me delete this thing. Okay, if you wanted to create some Python script, click on this plus mark, provide your Python main.py. It is like your Visual Studio Code. It is like your Notepad++, guys. I'm telling you, it is a code editor, main.py. So you have written main.py. You can enter your code. So you wanted to print, my name is Shaik Saidhul. I will mention my name. Okay, so this is what, if you can write your Python code, you can save it. Okay, so this is how. So what is the editor? Editor is for your code editing purpose. So whatever the code you wanted to write it properly, you can able to write it in the Cloud Shell editor, guys, everyone. So this is your Cloud Shell editor. This is your Cloud Shell editor, where you can create code, edit your code, and version control. It supports version control strategies also. See here, it also supports version control systems as well. So that is what is one more thing. And whatever the code you have written, sir, I wanted to run that script. So that is, it is already supports Python, Python main.py. See here, it is printing Shaik Saidhul. So because we have printed Shaik Saidhul only, right? So in the next line, if you wanted to print hello everyone, okay, so you can run it, Control S, you run the same code. See here, hello Shaik Saidhul, hello everyone. So this is how you can create some code. You can also run some code with the help of the Cloud Shell editor and Cloud Shell terminal. So this is what is Cloud Shell, guys. Hope you got some idea now about the Cloud Shell. Okay, Cloud Shell is a web-based command line interface to interact with the GCP services via commands. It is a Linux-based virtual machine. It comes with the Linux, it comes with the pre-installed client libraries such as Java, Terraform, and all of those things. And it has two phases. One is Cloud Shell Terminal and what is Cloud Shell Editor. So Cloud Shell Terminal is made for running the commands. Editor is for code editing purpose, and it comes with the version control systems as well. Okay, so this is what is Cloud Shell, everyone. Okay, please raise your hand, guys. If you have any question, I will take it at the end. Okay, we will take it at the end if anyone have any questions. Please raise your hand. I'll get to know. Okay, yeah. Now, so we have seen what is Cloud Console. We have seen what is Cloud Shell as well. So let me gonna talk about Cloud SDK also, because which is very similar to your Cloud Shell, and we will complete it. And if you guys have any questions, we will take it. Okay. Now let me gonna start what is Cloud SDK. So the third method is Cloud SDK. Very, very similar to your Cloud Shell only. The only difference is that Cloud SDK is local based. Cloud SDK is what, sir? It is a local base. It is not available over the web. So from your local machine, if you wanted to interact with the GCP services, so that is what is SDK, sir. Cloud SDK is also a command line interface. Okay, it is also a command line interface. If you wanted to interact with the services via commands only. So this is what is Cloud SDK, guys. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we download this SDK and how do we install this on SDK? Because it is available on a local system only. From a local system, it will this, right? So as a developer, we are going to create some script in the local using local Visual Studio. We are going to create some script or something, and that script you wanted to run it in the Google Cloud Shell or maybe Google Cloud Platform, or you have some data in the local machine, you wanted to move that data to the cloud environment, maybe cloud storage. So that means if you wanted to move a data from your local machine to your Google Cloud Platform, you need to run some commands. Where do you run those commands? So that is where your Cloud SDK. So Cloud SDK will give you a chances for you to move your or run some commands from the local machine to your Google Cloud Platform. Okay, so it is a bridge between your local machine as well as between local machine and your Google Cloud Platform. So how do we install the Cloud SDK, sir? According to your operating system, according to your machine operating system, you have to download and install this. You have to download and install this Cloud SDK. Once it is installed, then you can able to start using. Once it is installed, you log into the Google Cloud account, you log in with a G Cloud account and start using it. Start interacting with the services. Okay, so that's where it start interacting with the services. Let me gonna show you. Don't worry. I'm gonna show you the interacting with the services. Okay, how do we do that? Cloud SDK, I told you, sir, it is a local based command line interface. How via if you wanted to work with the services in the GCP, via commands we are going to interact with it. How the SDK is going to be available to you? The SDK is going to be available to you according to your operating system of your machine. You download it and you install it on top of your local machine. And once you install, you log in with your Google Cloud account and start interacting with the services. How do we do that? I already created a one of the thing here. If you wanted to install the SDK, okay, if you wanted to install the SDK, you click on this first page. Okay, so this is when to here. You click on that first page. So, so this is what is this. Install the Google Cloud CLI, nothing but a SDK. Okay, so if you wanted to install it, if your machine is Linux operating system, or Debian or Ubuntu operating system, or Red Hat, Mac OS, Windows, Chromebook, whatever it is, whether your operating system is any of these operating system, you have to go here. My operating system is Windows. Okay, so I click on Windows, download the Google Cloud CLI installer. So I click on this one. See here, it is going for me to download. I'm going to click on start download. See here, it is already downloaded. Click on open folder. So you can able to see that Google Cloud SDK installer. It is hardly 260 MB, 260 KB, guys. Okay, hardly 260 KB. It is an installer. So what you have to do, click on it. Okay, so you have downloaded it, you have to install it, and click on this next, click on the agree, click on next, click on install, so that it will start installing it, guys. Okay, for me I already have a version of the Google Cloud SDK, so that's a reason I'm not installing it. I have stopped it. So what you have to do, the very first thing is that according to your operating system, tomorrow I'm going to provide you the access to my notes. So once you guys have completed the registrations, so once you have access to my notes, what you have to do is I will also tell you how to create the account. maybe in the next class. And while I'm creating the account, you should also able to create the account. And I will also tell you, go and install the SDK. Where you have to go, you have to come to this particular place, click on this one. According to your operating system, you select it and you install it. Download it and install it. So I have already installed it. So let me gonna open it, which is similar to your SDK, sir. Okay, which is similar to the SDK. So click on my, I'm clicking on my Windows button, click on SDK. See here, Google Cloud SDK is available already because I have installed it. Click on this one. So this shell terminal gets opened. This terminal gets opened, guys. So once it is installed, what I have told you guys, once it is installed, what I have told you. So once once you have installed the Cloud SDK, you need to log into it. Okay, so you need to log into your Google Cloud account. How do we log in it? The command for logging is gcloud auth login. This is a command to log into your Google Cloud platform. All the letters are small only. Okay, it is small letters only, guys. It is not capital. It's a lowercase. gcloud auth login. Click on this one. So here you get a link, right? You copy this link. You copy this link. You are getting this link, right? You copy this link. Sorry. Copy this link and you go to your browser, paste the link here and click on enter. Select your account here. My account is this one only. I am selecting this account. Click on continue. Click on allow. That's it. If you allow, you are now authenticated with the CLI. You are now authenticated with the CLI. See here. So you are now logged in as a GCP this month. This is my account and logged in with this particular project. Okay. So earlier we have ran some commands, right? So earlier we ran some commands, guys. If you guys remember, gs util ls to list out all the buckets. You can run the same command again here also to interact with the GCP services. See here. Okay, now it is showing three buckets. It's because we are in a different project. If you wanted to change the project also, you can change the project. G-Cloud Concept project. So we need to work. I will tell you later, guys, what is this project and why I am changing the project. I will tell you all of these things. It is just it is a resource container. That's it. A project is a resource container. Okay, look at here. Now the same command earlier, if I run gsutil ls, I will show you here also. We are able to list out all of these things, right? You can also again do that. gsutil ls. So we have this many buckets, right? Similarly, when you run the same command, you are able to see the same thing here. Look at here. Okay, so something that you can able to achieve using the console can be done using the Cloud Shell, can also be done using the Cloud SDK also, because these are the different methods that are available in Google Cloud Platform to interact with the GCP services. Someone uses a graphical user interface, we call that as a console. Someone uses a web-based command line interface, that we call it as a Cloud Shell. Someone has a codes available in the local machine, they wanted to interact it via local machine, that is what we call as a Cloud SDK. Okay, so these are the three different methods are there to interact with the GCP services, using commands, using the console, using all of these things, guys. Okay, hope that is making sense to you now. Okay, this is what is console, this is what is Cloud Shell, and this is what is SDK, guys. Okay, console is the graphical user interface, Cloud Shell is the command line interface, SDK is a local based command line interface. Console is by default available to everyone, so you don't need to do anything. Cloud Shell is one of the Linux based operating system, comes up with a client library support also. If you wanted to interact via commands, you need to know the Linux commands. Cloud SDK is not directly available to you. You have to install it on top of your local machine according to your operating system. You first download it and install it. Once you have installed, log into the Google Cloud account and start interacting with the services. So this is what is Cloud SDK. Okay, so these are the three different methods are there to interact with the GCP services, guys. Okay, now if anyone have any questions, please raise your hand, guys. I'll see who is having a question. Please raise your hand. If anyone have any questions, you have to raise your hand, guys, please. Does anyone have any question? Please raise your hand, please. Always raise your hand, guys. Don't talk anything, okay? Yeah. Yes, Suhail Khan. Yes, Suhail. You have any question?
Uh, uh, Sorry. Hi. Uh,
Yes,
my
please.
question, my question was this editor, code editor is there, right? GCP editor.
Yes, yes, yes,
Sorry, the I mean not the editor, the terminal. It
yes.
comes with a pre-occupied memory of certain
Correct,
amount, like it's
correct,
5 GB, right? What is the
correct.
application of it? What's the application or what's the use of it?
You mean to say storage?
Yeah, yeah. Why do I need storage for a terminal?
No, no. You are. It is not a for a storage for the terminal. It is a virtual machine. Okay, I told you that a Cloud Shell is a virtual machine. Yes or no? It's a
Yeah.
Linux-based virtual machine. What is virtual machine? A virtual machine is like a simple machine that it comes up with the storage, it comes up with the RAM, it comes up with all the details, right? So tomorrow you are going to run some command. For every command, whatever some, if you wanted to run some Python script. So if you wanted to run some Python script, you need to have a Python installed on top of it. Okay, so if you wanted to install it, it does it for sure. Every software has its own storage, right? You have to install some dependencies for that particular Python. So if you wanted to install it, it comes up with a storage, right? If it does not have a storage, how do you where do you install it? Right, for
Oh,
every machine, if you wanted to install it, it comes up with the dependencies. If you wanted to install those dependencies, you need the storage, of course, right?
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Say a similar scenario in case there's a Python library which is super heavy and it goes beyond 3 GB or 4 GB.
It
What will
doesn't
happen in
work.
that?
It doesn't. You can't do that. So that's a limitation, right? So that's what I'm saying. A 10th class boy, you take it. So you ask him the 10th class questions, he will be able to answer it. Okay. But if you ask him the graduation, that means a BTech questions, he'll not be able to answer it because his capacity is only until 10th class. Okay, don't
Oh,
expect him to be know the things of BTech guy. Okay, so again, Cloud Shell has its own limitations. It's only for a small and single purpose, and you can't utilize it for the all the cases. Okay, yeah,
okay. Thank you.
yes, yes. Any other questions, anyone, please? If you guys have any questions, I'm telling you guys, if you wanted to ask me, please raise your hand always. Okay, don't forget that. And don't in between talk. Okay, whenever you have any question, just raise your hand. I will, while looking at it, I will ask you who is having a question. Yeah, I see no one has raised their hands. That means I see that no one is having any questions. You can look at here. This is our console, guys, which we have seen just now. Okay, we have now know that what is the console, and we have also seen about the Cloud Shell. Now we know about what is the shell, right? And now we have also seen about the Cloud SDK. We now know about the Cloud SDK also. Yes or no? Any other questions, anyone, please, about these three things? Console, Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK. Okay, hope that is clear now. So now we will go to the slides and I am going to tell you. So here we have a console, a Cloud Shell, a Cloud SDK. There's a fourth method, that is APIs or third-party tools. APIs and third-party tools. APIs is nothing but application programming interface. Okay, so if you wanted to interact with the services programmatically, okay, or if you wanted to interact with the services via some third-party tool in Google Cloud Platform, you can use this third method, fourth method. So how, what is the example for this method? So if I give you an example, you will understand it better. So assume that you have some ETL tool. Let me just take Apache Knife 5, or let me take Informatica, or let me take a simple tool. What is, why this is small? Yeah, here it is. Assume that there is a BigQuery. So in Google Cloud Platform, we have BigQuery, and query is holding the tabular data. Now there is a external tool, that is third party tool, that is Power BI. Everything external to the Google Cloud Platform is considered as a third party tool. Everything external to the Google Cloud Platform is called as a third party tool. Now Power BI is a third party tool. I think most of people already know Power BI is going to be used for the visualization. So you here you can create some graph charts, here you can create bar charts, pie charts, whatever it is, right? How do you create these things? Based on the data. Assume that for the Power BI the data source is BigQuery. So via some method you are going to access the data from the BigQuery to the Power BI to create these dashboards. Okay, so a third party tool interact with the Google services for accessing the data. So this is what we call as a third party tools. Okay, so they can interact it via API, or they can interact it via some service account, or they can interact it via some other authentication method. Okay, so they can do it via any other method. But the thing is that the third party tool can be interactive with the GCP services. So this is what is something that I wanted to talk. Okay, so this is what is we call it as a third party tools. Not only that, one more example let me give you. There are plenty of these things we are going to do it, guys. It's not like this is only the one thing. Okay, there are plenty of the things. For example, assume that you have your data in the ADLS, Azure Blob Storages, that you wanted to move it to the Google Cloud Storage. Okay, ADLS is a third party tool or external to the Google Cloud Platform. You can move it the data to GCS. This is one way. And similarly, you have some Informatica, which is a third party tool. Okay, so you wanted to into the GCP services. Okay, so to process the data, so you have a data in the GCS, you wanted to move the data to the BigQuery. So what you do, you access the data using the Informatica is a ETL tool, extract a transform load. So you extracting the data from the GCS, you are transforming the data in the Informatica, you are loading the data to the BigQuery. So again the Informatica is, so you have a plenty of third party tools, totally depends on your project requirement. So what you are going to do there, so you are going to interact with these services in the Google Cloud Platform via third-party tools. So this is what we call it as a interacting with the third-party tools. Or maybe some tomorrow you have some application is there. Tomorrow you have some application is there. So whenever this application is utilized by the some plenty of the people, right? So assume that it's a Flipkart application. We wanted to order the products. We wanted to purchase products because Flipkart is a e-commerce platform. Whenever someone is trying to interact with the application, the data gets generated, and you wanted to store this data in the some database. You can actually use Cloud SQL as a database for that one. Okay, so this is again you are interacting with the Cloud SQL from some application, from third party application. So this is what is we call it as a, again interacting with the APIs or third party tools. Okay, so this is how there are plenty of methods are there to interact with the GCP services. One is console, one is Cloud Shell, one is Cloud SDK, the fourth one is the APIs or third party tools. It totally I have here the note, guys. I have here what it says is that these are the some common ways to interact with the GCP services. I have told you four methods. The choice totally depends on the preference that you wanted to work with the GCP services or that you wanted to have it with the GCP services. Someone wanted to work with the graphical user interface, someone wanted to work with the command line interface, someone wanted to work with the local from the local machine, or someone wanted to work with the third party tool. So it totally depends on your project requirement. So as per that, you are going to choose a proper method and you are going to interact with the services. Okay, so this is what is GCP interfaces. This is what is GCP interfaces, guys. Does anyone have any question? Please raise your hand. With this one, we have completed a GCP interfaces. Very, very important basic concept today. Okay, any question, please? If anyone have any questions. So this is what we have planned. We have completed it. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. In our next class, I'm going to talk about GCP locations. Okay, we are going to talk about GCP locations, guys. Here, I'm going to talk about global infrastructure. Very, very interesting service, guys. This very, very important topic also. Global infrastructure. What is location? What is location? Region and zone, and the selection criteria for deployment. So this is a topic that we're going to start in the next class. Okay, so we have completed GCP interfaces. This is our next topic, guys. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can wind up the session because it is exactly 8:30. Show for raising a hand in your screen. So, okay, you can just click on that. So you have a raise button. You have a three dots, right? So on your that. So you can click on that so that because there are plenty of people are here. So if you raise hand, I'll get to know who is talking so that I can call your name. Okay. So that becomes easy. For now, you can ask me, but next time onwards, please raise your hand. Okay. Yes, Kamesh. Okay. Oh yeah, please ask the question. Yes, please. Correct. Oh, you mean to say when I'm running the commands, you need to know the path. You need to know. It's correct. We need to mention the path. I will show you that. So in our upcoming sessions, we will see when you click on ls, whatever that is there here, you will be able to see it. See, I have my repo here. So my repo is also here. Okay, so it will list out all the folders and files. So I wanted to run the file main.py that is there in the my repo. What I will do, I will change the path. We will see these things. Okay, so when you change the path, when you list out now, you have two files, Docker file, main.py. Okay, so these things we will see it. We need to change the directory so that we will go to that particular folder so that we can access those files inside that particular folder. Okay, yeah, we will see these things in the Linux basics. Yes. Okay. Any other questions, anyone, please? I hope you have learned something today, and I'm going to wind up the session for today, guys. I have one thing. So the admin is asking, we have completed all the demos as planned. So 3 free demos we have completed, guys. Okay, 3 free demos we have completed. Those who wanted to continue, already few of the people already paid for the sessions. Those who did not yet to complete sessions, to please complete it by today itself. Complete by today. From the next class onwards, the link will change. Okay, so this is what is from the they are saying the link will change. Those who wanted to, sorry, Those who wanted to attend the regular sessions, try to complete the registration by today, get the link as well as get the material access, get the recordings access. Everything you make sure. Okay. Don't go for in a hurry and don't do it on the next before the next class. Sir, I will do it and I will get all of these things. Don't do that. What I suggest you to do is that complete the registration as soon as possible and then get the material access from the admin. One is material access, one is recording access. Don't ask me later point when, sir, I did not get the material access, I did not get the recording access. Okay, so you will get a material access like this. You will get a link. Okay, you will get a material link. I will, once the registrations are completed, I will provide the access to each and every one. So when you get the link, you paste it here. Sorry, you paste it in the net, in the any web page, so that when you search with the Google, so this is how it opens for you guys. Okay, so when you go to the cloud basics, no, you go to your cloud. Okay, cloud basics, here it is. Why it is here, I'm not sure. Can we put it here? No. So cloud basics. So here we have seen what is Google Cloud Platform, what is GCP interfaces. You can go and recap. I have installed SDK, you go and install the SDK. So this is what you have to do. Get the access to the material, first thing. Get the access to the recordings, the second thing. Keep ready with these things, whatever we have done so far, the formalities, try to complete it. In the next class, I am going to give you GCP location. Sorry. Even before the GCP locations, we have a one more topic. Cloud overview. Cloud console walkthrough. This is actually I forgot this one. This is very important for you guys. Console walkthrough. Here I'm going to tell you account creation. How to create a free tier account in the GCP. That is one thing. How to create the projects, how to work with the billing, how to enable disable the billing, how to enable and disable the API. So this is what is our next topic, guys. I forgot this one. So this is going to be the next topic, which is very important, guys. Very important. If one wanted to comfortably work in the Google Cloud platform, they should attend this particular thing, console walkthrough. They need to create an account. I am going to tell you in the next class how to create a free tier account, and I will tell you how to create a project and what is a project setup, billing setup, API setup. All the things we are going to cover in the next class. Okay, so three demos are completed. Complete the registrations by today. Get access to all of these things. Okay, yeah. Okay, guys. Message is conveyed. This is it for today. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me now. Otherwise, we can wind up the session. Yes, Kishore.
Sir, is the recorded sessions down will be downloaded in future? If I mean, yeah, if absence of class, can we download it into our local system?
Regarding download access, I'm not sure, guys. Download access, I think they are providing. Yeah, I think they are providing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, Abhijit,
Thank
you have any question?
Yeah, for GCP certification, what things are you are providing from your end?
Yes, for GCP certification, I have already shown you. Okay, for GCP certification, I have already shown you. If you go here, the certification dumps here we have. So these are the commonly. So some of the questions are directly coming, guys. You can actually go for the certification dumps. People say that, sir, almost 10 to 15 questions are same, sir. So that's what the say. So you have here 200 plus 200 questions are there here. So these 200 questions for AS, 200 questions for the PD are very important, and some of the questions are repetitive from the this particular PDF itself. Okay, very useful. Yeah. Okay, you can easily crack it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, yeah. Okay, guys, thank you all. Have a great day. Bye bye. We will meet in our next session. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Yeah, sure, guys. I'll check it out.